Hello friends, this is Dr. Mitesh Kala, presently teaching in Campin School. Welcome to the online teaching resource. Hi, can you see something on the screen? Yeah, good old days when I was too young. My parents used to watch matches and such type of graphs used to come on the screen. And I always used to wonder, are these some kind of worms or something? And then something like this used to come. And I used to wonder why all bars are being made. It is only now that I realize that these graphs are representing some kind of data. Basically, these type of graphs, what are they called? They're called as ogive or cumulative frequency curve because it gives a cumulative frequency data in the form of a graph. Alright, so if you look at these matches as they progress, you can see the number of runs in total that has been represented here. And that's why the name is cumulative frequency curve. Curve because they all are like curves, no polygons as such. Likewise, these are called as bar graphs. And then there are some types of special bar graphs called as histograms. So if you see the difference, here there is a gap of 1 unit. But here they are all side by side with no gaps. So what are histograms? Histogram is basically some representation of data in the form of rectangles just to make the entire data to be understood in an easier way with a glance probably. The next one is ogive or cumulative frequency curve. So it is again a graphical representation of the cumulative data, that is the total of all the data, either in the form of less than frequency or in the form of more than frequency curves. In your syllabus, you don't have more than, we are only going to cover the less than cumulative frequency curves. Let's understand the differentiation in terms of application. So histograms are basically for individual person and their individual score of one match, whereas cumulative is the total of all the runs made in an entire match, right? Likewise, individual day wise rainfall or the total rainfall, so day wise is histogram and total is cumulative. Likewise, marks obtained by one child and by the whole class, or marks of expenses of one individual or a bunch of individuals, or maybe weight of one person and weight of bunch of individuals being shown together. So today in this video we are going to study how to construct histogram and how to construct cumulative frequency curve. Come on guys, let's construct. Today we are getting into graphical representation, exercise 23. So in the previous part we understood what is histogram and what is ogive. So histogram is basically a type of bar graph and ogive is a type of line graph. There are different types of graphs which we use to represent data. So today we are going to study about histogram and ogive. Why are we studying histogram and ogive? That I will tell you only once we finish this video. So the first sum, 1 part 2, is what we are focusing on. It talks about CI, that is class interval, and the frequency. So class intervals are all in order. So the first thing you need to see is whether the class intervals are continuous. What do I mean by continuous? 10 to 16, 16 to 22. It should not be 16 and then 17. This should be continuous or connected. 22, 22, 28, 28. That is called continuous. So the first thing you need to notice whether they are continuous or not continuous. If they are not continuous, then we need to make them continuous. How? That I'll tell you later when we reach to a question of that type. So right now we are getting focused on this part and we are trying to make histogram. So it should be very clear in your head that histogram are bar graphs, but between two bars or two rectangles there will be no space. They are all connected to each other, they are all joined to each other. So that's the data. Let's take this data and work out on a graph sheet. So the data goes up and let's work out with a graph sheet. So your x-axis is right over here with 0 and y-axis is the other side. So let's write the data over here. So the first one I am writing 10, 16, 22, 28, 34 and 40. Let's recheck 10, 16, 22, 28, 34, 40. Now on the y-axis, how are you going to calibrate? So you need to look at the highest frequency. So if you look at this, the highest frequency that we have is 30. The highest frequency that we have is 30. So now to divide 30, you should always take 30 divided by 10. Why 10? Because we are going to use 10 blocks max. Try to use 10 blocks, not more than that. So I can take 3 as my unit over here. 3, 6, 9 and so on. So are there enough multiples of 3? Possibly yes. But to divide 3 is going to be a task. So can I take 2? If I take 2, maximum 30. That means I'll need 15 blocks. But on a sheet of graph, you just have 12 blocks vertical. So I can't take 2. So can we take 5 then? You should always try and take 0, 2, 5, 10, because then it becomes easy to bifurcate these inner lines. Are you able to see the inner lines? And each box is a 2 by 2 box. So if you are using a graph paper which is 2 by 1, it is a wrong graph paper. You are supposed to use a graph paper 2 by 2. Not wrong as such, because board is using this, the standard graph by ICSE. Therefore we need to stick to this graph paper. Is that clear? So we are going to divide over here each by 5. So I am calibrating here as 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 and 30 is the last one. So the first one they said is 15. So 15 is 10 to 16, correct? Now before we start, you need to always take care of one thing throughout this chapter, that is something called as kink. Now what is kink? Kink is a solution. Solution to what? Here if you see 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, every block has a gap of 5. Is that the same case with x-axis? 0 to 10, so how much is the gap? 10. 10 to 16, that is 6. So now the gap is uneven. So whenever the gap is uneven, we use something called as kink. Kink is a Z which we make, and with the help of the kink, it denotes that there is something over here which we have changed. So the teacher will understand that, and if you don't draw kink, you straight away lose 1 mark. Remember that. Now the first block 10 to 16 is 15. So let's draw till 15. So 15 is ready made for us. So here we go for 15. So that's the first rectangle that we have drawn. Let's go to the next one, 23. Now 25 and 20. So this is 20 and 25. The middle one is going to be 22.5. And then there every one line is going to be 0.5. How do you come to know how much is one line? So you have to see 0 to 5, that means 5. So there are 10 lines, 10 divided by 5 or 5 divided by 10. When you do 5 divided by 10, automatically you will get 0.5. That means each line is 0.5. So we'll have to take one line extra, then the middle line. That means 6 lines from there. I'm using a marker so that it can be clearly seen in the video, but the accuracy might be slightly here and there. You're supposed to use a pencil in the boards. Markers obviously are not going to use. So please see to it you use pencils while doing the sums right now also. The next one is 30. So let's hit to 30. So 30 is right here. And let's join it. Yeah. The next one 20. So 20 is right here. And dropping a line. And the last one is 16. So 16 is going to be 2 lines above 15. So 1 and 2, 2 lines above 15 is what I am drawing as 16. And a straight line then. Yeah, that's your histogram. Now you will lose 1 mark on this because you not written the heads. Heads means this. What is the x-axis? Class interval. What is the y-axis? Frequency. Right? If you want to make it more decorative, what you can do is 15, 23, 30, 20 and 16. So we are writing the values also, so it looks more presentable to the teacher. That's it with the histogram. Histogram is very simple. Okay. The only thing now you need to add is the scale. So what is your scale? So on x-axis, 2 centimeter is equal to 6 units. 2 centimeter equals to 6 units. And on y-axis, 2 centimeter is equal to 5 units. If you don't write your scale or your kink, you are bound to lose 1 mark or even your heads. So we are expected to write all these details clearly. Is that followed? Is histogram clear in the head? Let's take one more sum on histogram, slightly tricky. So let's work it out. So sum number 1 part 4. This is another question to construct histogram. What is the problem with this question? Can you identify? Yeah, you've not been given the class interval. Instead, you've been given the class mark. In standard 9, we studied how to generate class interval using the class mark. So I'll just show you the technique. You take these two classes or class marks and subtract them and divide by 2. That's the simplest formula. So 24 minus 16, 8 divided by 2, so you get 4. Plus 4 minus 4. So this you should convert as plus 4 minus 4. What do I mean by plus 4 minus 4? Plus 4 minus 4 to the class mark of that class. So this is class interval we are trying to find. Alright. So minus 4 will be 12. Plus 4 will be 20. So I got my first class. This class, check out the class interval, the answer will be 16. If you want to still be sure, do the same plus or minus 4 with 24. So 20, 28. Did you get this connected as well? Yes, you did. That means now everything is going to fall in place. So how to generate class interval from your class mark is you take two class marks, subtract them and divide by 2. Whatever answer you get, plus or minus 4 with the class mark. So when you do plus or minus 4, you get the entire class interval. Can you generate the rest? Pause the video, generate this, take your graph paper, draw the histogram and then come back and check it with me. So it's going to be 28 to 30 plus 4, so 36, 36 to 44, 44 to 52, 52 to 56 and 56 to 68. Did we manage to get all connected? Yes. Did we manage to get all the class intervals converted to all the class marks converted to class intervals? Yes. Now let's draw this on the graph sheet. So how will this look? So I will need all this, alright. This is going to go on the x-axis. This is going to go on the y-axis. Remember that, okay. So your x-axis is going to be 12, 20 and so on, and this is going to be the frequency. Can we calibrate right now? So the maximum frequency is 25. This is for y-axis. If I divide it by 10, I get 2.5. Now marking 2.5 is going to be crazy. So the only choice you have is either take 5 or take 10. Alright. If you take 10, it's going to be too small. So my suggestion would be take 5 as we did for the previous graph. Okay. So let's hit it. Come on. Everyone pause your video, give your best, construct your histogram and then come back and check whether you done it correct or no. Alright. Let me hit it. So that's my y-axis. Let me get my x-axis. So that's my x-axis, and the class interval started from 12. You remember that? 12, then the next one, anybody remembers? 12 to 20, very good. 20 to, next one 20 to 28. Then 28 onwards, what was it? I don't remember. 36, 44, 52. 36, 44, 52. See, there is a gap of 8. So 52 plus 8 would be 60 and 60 plus 8 would be 68. I think the last one was 68 only. Yeah, it is. Okay. Now frequency. So we decided we are going to take 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 and 30. I think 25 is the max. What is the first thing you need to remember? Superb. Kink. Is the kink required? Yes, it is. So put a Z. That's enough for the kink now. Let's go ahead. The first is 8. The first frequency is 8. So 10, 2 lines lesser than 10. 2 lines or 4 lines? Think. See, 5 to 10 is just 5. So 5 divided by 10. That means each line is 0.5. So if I want to come 2 units down, then I'll have to take 4 lines. See, you need to understand this very well. Otherwise you will mess this up. So I'll have to come 4 lines down in order to hit 8. So first I am hitting 8. Then the next one they said is 12. So 10 plus 4 lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4 lines and I will get 12. Further, the next one they said is 15 and then 18. So 15 and then the 18 line. So 18 again 4 lines down from 20. Are you connecting with me? Yeah, if you're connecting, that means you are copying. Yeah, that means you've not paused your video. And then the next one is 25, 19 and 10. So 25, 19 is going to be 2 lines down and then the last one is 10. So 19 and the last one 10. Is my histogram done? Where are the bars? Who's going to draw the bars? So let's quickly draw the bars first. So all the bars now. So line 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically what I have done is, first I marked all the values and now I am drawing the vertical lines. So it becomes easy for me to plot. You want to decorate, please do that. What else have we forgotten? Superb. Scale. So on x-axis, 2 centimeter is equal to 8 units. And on y-axis, 2 centimeter is equal to 5 units. Yeah, are you with me till here? Perfect. Super. What else did I forget? Lost 1 mark. Class interval, the heads of the lines and the frequency. Once we are done with all this, we are sorted with this sum at least. So there were 2 parts in this question. Part 1 was converting class mark into class interval, and part 2 constructing the histogram. Alright, let's go with the next question, guys and girls, obviously. Sorry. The next question I want you to try is sum number 2 part 1. Now here they are asking you to construct an ogive. Ogive is very important from board point of view. A question every year appears based on ogive for 6 marks. Can you believe? So everyone who struggles or everyone who wants to score the most should know how to construct ogive and then calculate something from ogive, which I'll tell you later. So right now let's see, what do you mean by ogive? Ogive means cumulative frequency curve. Cumulative means the total. Frequency means these values, and curve. Alright, so what is this cumulative frequency curve? So for that, the first column you need is cumulative frequency. You'll have to pay attention specially, so please focus once we are right now understanding this. So the first column should be cumulative frequency. How to generate cumulative frequency? So 10 plus 15, 25, 25 plus 17. Keep on adding the next one. So it goes in this pattern. You will identify a pattern like this, right, going till the end. Okay, so let's work this out. 25 plus 17, anybody? 42 is it? 42 plus 12, 56, 66 and 84. How will I know if my values are correct? Just add this. If the answer comes as 84, that means you are alright. So let's check. 5 plus 7, 12, 13, 14, 14 plus 8, 22. Oh, something is wrong. Once again, 12 plus this 22, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 72. Is it? Did you get the same? 15, 20, 22, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 72. How did I get 84? I must have messed up somewhere. So 25, 25, 35, 42. Correct. 42 plus 12, 56. 66. 66 plus 8 should be 74. But still I get 4 over here. So where have I messed up? 5 plus 7, 12, 1. Here see 54 once, and second time here 72. See, this helped me to check my values, otherwise my entire graph would have got messed up. You should always cross check. Good, I made a mistake, so that we learn from it, everybody. So I got 72. Now let's hit the graph. So let's see how are we going to work out with the graph paper. Before you go on to the graph, couple of instructions. Ogive, the most important thing is this diagram. I call it as reverse L. You can see the L, but a reverse L. What do you mean by this reverse L? So you start from 10, you go to 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. You don't look at this at all. So this gets disappeared. Only the first value you begin from, and then you go with all the upper limits, none of the lower limits. So when you take this 10, this first value is always going to be plotted as 0. Always plotted as 0. Then 15 will be plotted as 10. 20 will be plotted as 25, not 15. Right? All the CFs we are trying to plot. Why CF? Because the name is cumulative frequency curve. So cumulative frequencies is what we need to plot. We need not plot frequencies here. Okay. So let's try and work out. So first x-axis, y-axis is what we need to draw. So here, and then again here. So x-axis, y-axis has been constructed. So my x-axis is going to be what? All the class intervals starting from 10. So 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Till where do I have to go? 40, I guess. Yeah, till 40. So I have plotted it. Now frequency is maximum is 72. So if it is up to 72 divided by 10, 7.2. So the closest will be 10. So take 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 and 80. This is going to be very simple now. Starting from 10 I told you. You remember that? So starting from 10 should be 0. You got to put a dot and a circle around it. So a dot and a circle. What is the next value now? 15 with 10. See, the first number is always going to be 0. Remember this L, reverse L technique. Never forget that. Alright? Because I have seen people plotting this wrong and the entire sum they get a 0 straight away. So 15 for 10. So 15, 10. Plot and circle around it. 25 is the next one. So 20, 25. So on 20, see on 20 you are plotting 25, not 15. Okay. So on 20 I am plotting 25 exactly at the middle. Then on 25 I am plotting 42. So on 25, 42. Then on 30, 54. 30, 54. The next one 35, 66. So 35, 66. And then the last one 40 is 72. So on 40 we are plotting 72. Now once you finished your plotting, now you need to create a curve. It's a curve. The name is cumulative frequency curve. Curve means it should be like a curve. You can't be using your scale. If you use a scale, it becomes a polygon and you get a 0. So if anyone joining this with a scale, you get a 0 straight away. You got to join freehand and make it as smooth as possible. Please don't sketch it. Alright. So just look how am I trying to construct it. So avoid lifting your hand and draw it just looking like a curve, a freehand curve. In the board, 1 mark is just for plotting and 1 mark is just for constructing the curve. If the curve is not looking like a curve, you lose 1 mark straight away. Yeah. The names is what we need to give. So this is CI and this is frequency. The scale we need to mention. So on x-axis, 2 centimeter is equal to 5 units. And on y-axis, 2 centimeters is equal to 10 units. So we wrote the scale. Try to write the scale up. Right now I'm using a marker, so it's coming too low. Alright. Here are the names we gave. What else did we forget? Very good. King. 10 to 15 and 0 to 10. So I forgot to put a king. I would have lost 1 mark straight away. That's exactly what your cumulative frequency is. I hope by now at least you know both the things, the histogram and the cumulative frequency. We took some more time to understand these two concepts. Now that we know them well, we can go fast. Alright, so remember whenever you're constructing the cumulative frequency, the reverse L technique. And what you need is a cumulative frequency column. Once you got your cumulative frequency column, use the reverse L technique and obviously you will be able to construct your graph. Let's go with the next one. I want everyone to try some number 2 part 2. What is the problem here? Can you identify? Yeah, the major problem here is that the classes are not continuous. So first thing you need to do is make the classes continuous. How will you make the classes continuous? So there is something called as adjustment. What do you mean by this adjustment? Adjustment means take the two lower limit and the upper limit of two successive classes, subtract them and divide by 2. You remember in the class mark we added, no, there also we subtracted, divided by 2. Here also you got to do the same thing, subtract, divide by 2. So the difference is 1 divided by 2, so 0.5. This becomes then plus or minus 0.5. So with the first one you subtract, that is the lower limit, and with the upper limit you add. So this is going to be 9.5 to 19.5, 19 to 29, 29 to 39, 39 to 49, and then 49 to 59. So that helps us to generate our class interval. Which one? Continuous class interval. Continuous class interval. Now that the continuous class interval is ready, you can easily plot your ogive. How will you plot? The reverse L technique. So you start from 9.5, you go to 19.5 and then come down. In the exam also, if you draw it like this, no problem. Please draw so you never go wrong and you always remember it. Okay. So let's try drawing this one. All of you will pause your video, come on, and start with this sum on your own. So here we go with the graph paper. So the first x-axis, y-axis, obviously we are going to construct. So my y and my x. So now that the y and x is constructed, let's plot. So on the x-axis I need 9.5 onwards. So 0, 9.5, 19.5, 29.5, 39.5, 49.5. This looks little messy because these are very close and lot of numbers. Go till 59.5. So 9, 19, 29, 39, 49, 59. Alright. How to calibrate the y? So maximum that, oh, we forgot the cumulative frequency column. So you need to have your cumulative frequency first. So 23 add 39, 39 plus 15, 49, 54, 74 and 86. Is that clear? Let's check whether we have done it correct or no. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 86. So we are correct this time, luckily. Now let's plot. So with the L technique. So calibration first 86. So I can again take 10 probably. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 and 90. You got to go till 90 because 86 is the max is what we need to go till, right? So let's now start plotting the L technique. So starting from 9.5 as 0. 19.5 is 23. So the first point now is going to be directly on 23. 39, 54. So 39, 2 lines down. Huh? No, this is going to be 1 line down because now the gap is 10. So you always have to see how much is the gap. So now it's going to be 39. After 39, 54, 74. So 54, 74. After 74, 86. So 86 is right over here. And then the smooth curve. Right, in this case the curve possibilities are very less because the numbers are almost straight. Alright, so your curve will look like this. So right over here cumulative, class interval, frequency, and write your scale as well. I am not writing the scale, I am saving my time to make a shorter video, but you are expected to write everything. 1 mark lost. Can you tell me why? Kink. Superb. So you got to have a kink over here. Are we clear with this question? Great job. Let's go with the next one. I want everyone to now try sum number 3 part 2. 3 part 2 again ogive, and they have given you the data in a different way. They have already given you the cumulative frequencies ready made. Lucky, isn't it? You don't have to add. There is no chances of going wrong. Do I need to find the frequencies? Obviously not, because I'm going to plot this only. Then what do I need to find? Yes, class interval. Where is the class interval? It's not there. So from here we will generate. What will be the class interval? 0 to 10. Continue now. 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 50, 60 and 60 to 70. So we got all the classes right over here now. Perfect. Now can you plot? So starting from 0, go till 10 and come down. So that's my diagram. Calibration on 65. So you can either take 5 will need 13 lines, not possible. You'll have to take 10 only. So let's hit it with 10. Come on, pause the video this time on your own, draw the ogive and show it to me quickly. Come on, everyone. Alright, so x-axis, y-axis. So that's my x and y being drawn. Oops, where is y? Disappeared. So x and y being drawn. Let's calibrate it. So on the x-axis the frequencies are 0, 10. So 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 and 70 I guess. So we got to go till 70. And calibration we said is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 and 70 I guess, because maximum was 64, correct? 65. Now let's plot 0 with 0 because 0 is the first number that we are looking at. Yeah. The next is 17. So on 10 also is 0. Can you see? 0 is 0 but 10 also is 0. That's a catch. So here also 0, so nothing to be plotted here. Further, now look at the upper limit. 20 will be 17, 30 will be 32. So 20 is 17, 3 lines down now. 3 lines because 10 is the gap, alright? So after 17, 32, 37, 32, 37, so 3 lines down. After 37, 53, 58, 65, 53, so 3 lines up. 58 and 65. So 58 will be 2 lines down and 65 right at the middle. Now let's see, this is going to look a very beautiful curve. Okay, let's see. Free hand and with a very nice handwriting. Is that clear? Got it everybody? So class interval again, frequency. Please write the scale. I'm not writing the scale right now. I'm trying to save my time. So please write that scale on your own. Is the cumulative frequency curve now very clear in your head? Will you be able to construct histogram and cumulative frequency curve 100%? Lovely. Let's go ahead with the next question. Come on everyone, I want you to try sum number 5. Sum number 5 is a graph question, as in they've already given you the question in the form of a data. You need to from here first create the cumulative table, or sorry, class frequency table. Once the frequency table is generated, then from there draw the ogive. So from here the classes that I can see is 8 to 12 and onwards, and the values are already written, that becomes your frequency. So come on, get me the table at least everybody. So my table should be 8 to 12, 12 to 16, 16 to 20, 20 to 24 I guess, yeah, 24, 28 and 28 to 32. What are the frequencies? So I can see 9, 16, 22, 9, 16, 22, 18, 12, 4. So 18, 12 and 4. So we got the class, we got the frequency. What do you need now? The cumulative frequency. So let's generate 9, 25, 47, 65. Am I correct? 47, 57, 65, 77 and 81. Let me check. So 6 plus 4, 10, 20, 31, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 81. So that's correct. So we are all right. The reverse L. If you do multiple sums, obviously you will remember everything. Let's graph this, guys. So reverse L, calibration 81. So I think 10 is the best option again. So let's draw the x-axis and the y-axis quickly. So here goes my y-axis first. And here goes my x-axis next. So once the x-axis, y-axis is done, then calibration. So the calibration is 8, 12. So 0, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. Was 32 there? Yeah, 32 is the last one. So 32. Maximum 10 we said, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 and 80 I guess. Or was it beyond 80? Yeah, 81. So we will have to go till 90. Now the reverse L technique. So the first one we are going to plot is 8 as 0. Then 12 as 9. So one line down. Again 10 gaps. So only one line is 1 unit. 9, 16, 22. 9, 16. Wait, 9. 12 is 9. 16 is 16. 16 is 16. Then 22, 18. No, we made a mistake. See? That's what I was talking about. You're plotting the cumulative frequency, not the frequencies. So this one is wrong. See, 12 should be 9, 16 should be 25. My bad. So this is wrong. Sorry. 16 will be 25 right over here. Then the next one 47, 65. So 47, 65, 47, 65, 77, 81. 77 and 81. Curve, let's draw. That's how the curve should look like, a smooth and a very clear curve. Cumulative class interval, frequencies, is the kink required? Yes. And then your scale. Remember 4 things in the end: the heads, the 2 heads, the kink and the scale. There are always 4 things in the end which we should always remember, so we don't lose marks on this. Let's go with the next question. Everybody flip on to sum number 7. 7 is a very good question from exam point of view. So I want everyone to focus. They have given you the scale now. If they have given you a scale and you take a different scale, straight away 0. Straight away 0. So please look at the scale carefully and only then begin. So let's quickly find. First get the CF, then look at the scale, plot and get your graph. Come on, get your ogive. Ogive is what we are trying to draw. How many racing with me? Chalo, let's begin. So 10, 28, 30, 40, 50, 75, 92, 102 and 120. Let me check. 8 plus 8 16, 17 18, 18 plus 5 23, 30. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12 it should have been. 8, 10, 15, 20, 30. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Again the same thing. Let me check for the last time. 8 plus 8 16, plus 5 21, 22 23, 30. So 3 carried over. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I am getting 110. Why did I get 120 here then? So 10 plus 18, 28, 28, 30, 40, 50, 60, 75, 75, 85, 92, 92 plus 10, 102, plus 8 should be 110. See, this thing really saves us. Come on, let's hit the graph now. So that's my reverse L, and with the reverse L you go down. The diagram is ready. 6500 onwards I have to begin. So come on, let's start. First the y-axis, then the x-axis. So y and then my x. So once the axes are ready, you start with 6500 onwards. So 6500, 7000. I'm writing 7.5k, 8k, 8.5, 9, 10. Sorry, 9.5, 9.5 and then 10. So 9.5 and then 10. Alright. Calibration on this side 110. So I can take 10 for sure. 10, 20, 30, 40. Remember you have 12 lines. So you can take 10 ka calibration straight away. 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 and 110. This was 120. So 12 calibrations. So 6500 is 0. The next one is 10, 28. Correct. 7000 is 10. So on 7000, 10. Then 28 on the next one. So 28, 50, 75. So 50, 75, 92, 102. So 92, 102 and 110. Draw the curve. Cumulative or class interval, frequency, 4 things. So 2 heads. Then the scale you will write and kink in the end, 0. This is class interval. In brackets you can write wages in rupees, and here you will write number of workers. So number of workers, and here wages in rupees. Is that clear, everyone? Are you able to now do it? Are you enjoying this? Great job. Let's go with the last question. Sum number 9 part 1. Now here they are not asking you to construct anything. They have given you the marks, less than and the cumulative frequency. They are asking you to get cumulative frequency table. Cumulative frequency table matlab get the class interval and get the real frequencies. So how are you going to get? Class interval is very simple. 0 to 10 you can take. So don't look at the first one. Go directly here because this is 0 to 10. Alright. So first one put a blank, otherwise you will get confused. So 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. So here we go. All the values are there. Now frequencies how to get. So subtract the two successive ones. The two successive ones. So 0 minus 7 will give you 7. That means 0 to 10 is how much? 7. Subtract these two. Then subtract these two. So always subtract here. Don't subtract anything with this side. Okay. So let's see. 28 minus 7 will give you 21. Now 54 minus 28 is what you need to do. Don't do 54 minus 21. Let's rethink if we are doing it correct logically. Okay. See, 0 to 10 are 7 numbers. Below 20, less than 20, there are 28 people. In that 28 people, 7 are included of less than 10 also. So we are removing them. So what we then get 21 is only between 10 and 20. Less than 30. See, understand, one more time I am explaining. Less than 30 is 54 numbers. Out of that, less than 20 are 28 numbers. So if I remove 28 from 54, then whatever I will get will only fall in the bracket between 20 and 30, because the rest were below 20. Is that clear? So 54 minus 28. So I will get how much? 30, 26. Let me add and see. 40, 54. Correct. What will be the difference here? 54 and 71. So 6 will be 60, 11 and 6, 17. Is it correct? 7 plus 4, 11, 5, 6 and 1, 7. Here what are the difference? So it is going to be 1 and 3, correct? 71 plus 13. 3 plus 1, 4, 7 and 1, 8. Here what are the difference? So 21, correct? 80, 105. Here what are the difference? 42. Am I right? Here the difference is 333. And here the difference is 16. And the last difference is 4. How will you check whether our answer is correct or no? Add all of these and the number should be 200. Okay, so let's check. 7 plus 1, 8. 8 plus 6, 14. 21, 24, 25, 27, 27, 30, 40. So I get 4 carried over. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20. So 200. That means all these frequencies are correct. So that's your cumulative frequency table. Now cumulative frequencies are of two types, either less than or more than. These are less than, that means you come from top. If it is more than, you go from down. If it is more than, then your graph also will not look like this, will not look like this. It will look the other way down. It will look like this probably. This is a more than graph. But luckily for your board syllabus, you don't have more than graph, you just have less than graph. So 9 part 2, you can cancel it. Such type will not come. Alright. For your homework, I want you to try these sums as homework. 1 part 1, 3 part 1, 4, 7 and 9 part 1 we just did, so you don't need to do. So only 4 sums I want you to do for your homework. Is that very clear? I hope you followed everything that we did today. Okay, and you do practice on daily basis. Please pray for everyone. Bye guys. Take care. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do write your math experience in the comment section. Thank you.